All right, everybody. Well, it's go time. Um, Again, thank you for everybody joining today. Really appreciate that. If you've met with us before, welcome back. We're really excited to show you kind of what's new with our products, what we've been working on the last few months and last few years. A lot of big changes in the mix. And if this is your first time with us, nice to meet you, and I hope you find some value in today's presentation. But just to kick things off, again, my name is Nick. I've been with Rhumbix for about 4 years. I run the business development team. Today, I'm going to really give you a background on the company, and then we're going to break down the Rhumbix timekeeping module and really showcase why it's been deployed on over 100,000 projects in the last 5 years and what kind of value our customers are finding with that. And the best part is we want to make this really fun and enjoyable for everybody. So we're going to provide a really special offer to everybody who makes it through the entire presentation. So stay tuned. This slide deck shouldn't take too long to get through. I got about 10 slides here. Again, it's just going to be a background on that company, and then we're going to jump right into the products. I'll even do a product demo and show you how time cards work as a day in the life of Rhumbix. So let's get it kicked off. So just so everybody knows, Rhumbix is a military company. We're founded by Navy veterans. All of our experience as well and the designs that we put into our products, they come from the field. Our two founders worked for several years at Bechtel and project control, so they got a really good understanding of what the needs are in the field and how to translate that to the home office. So the two real key takeaways here is we're veteran led, got that Navy experience, we've got that field experience. I got a pretty good understanding of how to help the industry from that perspective. So just a quick overview on Rhumbix's experience in the field. If you guys leave this webinar with one takeaway today, it's that Rhumbix really is that time card company. That's where we started, and that's really where we want to plant our flag. And here's some of the numbers to back that up. We're launched on over 100,000 projects with over 2.4 million time cards submitted, almost 80 million hours processed, and several $1 billion in total wages captured. So we've got tons of experience, and that goes from clients of ours who are your small local contractor looking to digitize that time card, all the way up to top 20 E&R firms. We've been doing this for 7 years, so we've got extensive experience and really excited to show you what that's culminated towards today. So here's what we've seen with the hundreds of companies that we work with is time cards typically present some common challenges. Those are things like incomplete time cards, delayed submissions from the fields, a lot of back and forth communication to and from the home office in the field. A lot of times your folks managing your payroll process have to do double, triple re-entry. Not only does this make this time intensive, but there's really a lack of visibility for folks managing time on a manual basis or paper-based Excel basis. There's really no way for you and the folks in the office to see what's going on in the field. You're going to have to wait until that stuff gets submitted. And typically that's a very inefficient workflow. And so people have come to us for a solution. And so we've completely digitized that time card workflow, and we've completely expedited that payroll processing workflow. And so what we've done is we've built a very, very simple mobile application where your folks in the field are going to enter their time. This is going to make time entry real time, very simple, even for your least tech savvy individuals. We've got a great user experience. They're going to submit their time directly from the field, and your folks in the home office are easily connected to that time. It'll get submitted and they'll review, edit, and approve that time. Really, really save your folks some valuable time at their workflow each week. A little background on where we're focused and where we're heading as a company is, our philosophy on technology and digitizing your workflows through Rhumbix is, as many of you know, when you think about your budget, the biggest variable is always going to be your labor costs. And when you finally take the step to digitize your labor hours and how they get submitted, you'll begin to unlock the full potential of streamlined reporting. streamlined analytics, and streamlined benchmarking. And our whole goal here at Rhumbix is we're out to help every contractor we work with achieve a better understanding of their performance, which means better estimating, which means better bids, and ultimately better margins for you and your ownership group. That's our goal, and that's what we're after. And really, just to dive into the timekeeping process with Rhumbix, and what we're trying to do with that is we want to create a really, really simple time collection experience where your folks generate those tickets in our mobile app. It's all connected to the cloud. And we want to make it easy for them to share that information to the office at the click of a button. It doesn't get any easier than that. And again, if we start to break down what's provided, you sign up for Rhumbix, what does that mean? What do you get in return? Well, we'll give you full access to our mobile application. We'll give you access to our web app. We'll give you access to our man-hour reporting dashboards. And we'll even give you access to some custom analytics where you can start to look at things like, hey, where are we spending the most of our overtime hours, our double time hours? Which jobs are we behind on in terms of scheduling? Which jobs are we over budget in terms of labor hours? These are all things you can start to unlock with the Rhumbix application. These are all things we'll provide to all of our customers. So more specifically, there's really two key pieces of Rhumbix technology. The first piece is going to be a mobile app. And this is where your foreman in the field, all of your field employees are going to enter their time, right? And there's a simple 5-step field entry process, working from that work shift setup, crew selection, cost code selection, all the way to that time card input, and then your weekly monitoring to see what you've submitted from the field. So again, the first piece is that mobile app. The second piece is going to be our web application. This is where your admins and your payroll teams can easily review, edit, and approve time that gets submitted from the field. Really doesn't get any easier than that. One thing we wanted to highlight for everybody here is we work with a company called Stonebridge Steel, and they've had a ton of success for Rhumbix as one of our customers. They've seen huge improvements in their error reporting. They're able to save 17 hours per pay period compared to when they were doing it manually on paper and Excel. And we're able to save their foreman up to 7 hours a week. They had a really time-intensive timekeeping process and see some great results implementing Rhumbix. Another company based out of Southern California, Jarrell Glass, seen some similar success with Rhumbix. Got over 150 foremen. They went 100% digital with Rhumbix, and they're saving up to 2 hours per week per foreman. And so we've seen some really cool results with Jarrell as well. So with all that being said, it's time to jump into the Rhumbix product demo. And I'm going to give you guys a really quick day in the life of what it's like for your foreman or your field employee to submit time in the field, in addition to giving you a day in the life of what it would be like for one of your payroll admins to go in and review time in Rhumbix. So I'm going to choose Chris, Will, Julian. Looks like Julian's in attendance today. Mike and Chris. The next step is I'm going to come in and select my cost code. I like this site fencing, we'll save that. And really, you'll click next here at the bottom and make sure your day is selected properly so we can see the date start and end time is going to be October 26th. We'll click next here. Now I have the option of coming in and editing time for each individual worker, but to save me some time, I'm going to go ahead and select everybody at once. I'm going to click this adjust 5 workers here at the bottom. And it's really as simple as when you set an alarm on your phone in the morning, you come in here and you're going to see that ST representing standard time. And I'll scroll here down at the bottom and say, you know what, the guys worked 6 hours on this in standard time, and maybe they worked 2 hours on this in overtime. If that looks good to me, I can see I've got 8 total hours of work in my work shift. I'll go ahead and click Save Changes. I'll see a quick breakdown of the standard time versus the overtime here on the time card. And if this looks good to me, I'll just punch in that submit work shift button at the bottom. Now, what you'll see is a very quick time card summary here for Tuesday, October 26th. And you have a couple cool options here. Here's where you might come in and click, hey, I made a mistake here. I need to edit this time card. I'll select this edit button here. I'll come in and I can click on any of these workers to adjust time here. So for example, we'll just say, nope, he worked 1 hour overtime. We'll save that change. Come to the bottom, click update work shift, verify, and we're good to go. Additionally, today's Tuesday, but let's say it's Wednesday, and I come in here and my crew work the exact same shift. I've got the option to come in, click this action button in the top right, and I'll click duplicate time card. The system's going to ask me for which day I want to duplicate for. And let's say we want to do it for Wednesday. We'll select Wednesday here. We'll click save. And boom, that work shift has been completely duplicated. You can see Wednesday, October 27th at the top to verify. And you're off to the races. And so really that's as easy as it gets in terms of time card submission. Shouldn't take your folks too long. And so with that, I'm now going to jump into the Rhumbix web application where we, as one of your payroll administrators or a project manager or someone who reviews and approves time, can come in and get this all ready for payroll. Give me a brief moment while I open up the web application. Okay. So again, just want to make sure everyone's on the same page. Can you guys see my screen? Awesome, thank you. So really, it's going to be as simple as logging into the Rhumbix platform website. Immediately, it's going to prompt you into selecting your project. So it's a really simple workflow. So I'll come in here and remember, we worked on that third in Lenora project. So I'll come in, type in that third, you can see my project here. Once I've got my project selected, I can come in and click apply. And again, I can select one or multiple projects, but for this example, we'll just focus on the one. Awesome, and right away, it's going to drop you into a weekly view for your time cards. So you'll see we've got the workers here on the left, and we've got the days up here at the top, and we've got the shifts, kind of like an Excel spreadsheet or a chart listed here in order at the bottom. And so you'll see I've got some time submitted on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And as a payroll admin, I can come in here and I can individually edit the time card. Just by double clicking, I can come in and just like the mobile app, I can make a specific edit to any individual time card. When that looks good, I can click done. You'll see some of these hours submitted are red, some are black. You're probably wondering why. So the system will give you a notification saying this employee's got fewer than 8 hours of standard time without an absence or a shift extra. You might want to look into that. And so if that's something that's, see my audio cut out here. So it's really easy to come in and save any changes you want to make. Or the next thing you can do as a payroll admin is let's say, hey, this looks good for me. I don't need to make any changes here. I actually want to just go ahead and approve this and get it ready for payroll. It's a very simple workflow. You can come in and you can approve any individual time card across any worker. So for Mike, I'll come in and I'll click, hey, this is supervisor approved. Or I might want to update the status to payroll verified. Regardless, you'll have 4 statuses to choose from: not approved, supervisor approved, payroll verified, and exported. And what you'll do is you say, hey, this information looks good to me. I've got to meet my payroll deadline. It's time for me to approve this. I can come in here and approve all statuses at once to save some time. I can say, hey, this is all payroll verified. It's all ready to go into my payroll system. And so I've come in here and I've reviewed the time, I've made my edits, and I've approved the time. Now it's time to get this into our payroll system. So as one of your admins, what I would do is I'd come in here and click this export button. It's going to ask me what date range do you want to export for. I'll punch in that date here at the top. It'll give me the ability to choose what payroll status I want to include. So I can include a specific status by selecting one of these, or I can include every single one. Now, one of the unique things here about Rhumbix is we're going to allow you to export that data into any specific format you need it to be in. And so what you'll do is you'll come in here and you'll select what specific accounting system or payroll system you'd like to push this data into. And so we've got, for example, Sage 300, Coins, Viewpoint, Spectrum, Oracle, JD Edwards, Foundation, you name it. You work with us to identify what file format you need. And if you don't see your accounting system listed here, that's still something that we can provide to you. These are just some of the most common ones our clients work with. And so once this is ready to go, you can go ahead and click export. You'll see this file gets downloaded in the bottom left. And from here, you'll be able to open up your accounting system application and import directly into whatever that system may be in the precise format that they need it in. And so really, that's all it takes to get your payroll processed through Rhumbix. And so that being said, I'm going to jump back into my deck and give you guys the last few slides here. Okay. So that's really as simple as it gets with Rhumbix. Again, our whole goal is to drive efficiency in the field, helping you cut down that time entry, as well as that payroll processing side of things. And so with all that being said, wanted to answer some questions that we commonly get. And the first question I wanted to speak to today, we've got 5 minutes left, so I'll try to wrap this up, is what does a typical Rhumbix timekeeping implementation look like? And the answer to that is we've worked really, really hard to carefully craft our product in a way that it's easy to deploy. And so what's special about Rhumbix is we've got a really, really strong implementation team. And every one of our clients works directly with a specific implementation manager who is going to help them through that implementation process. And so when you decide, or if you decide to move forward with Rhumbix, this is something that shouldn't take you more than 2 weeks to accomplish. And we think that's a lot quicker than the average competitor you see in the timekeeping space. And so really, we're going to work hard, give you the white glove treatment, configure the system in a way that makes sense for your business, and get that deployed as quickly as possible and as thoroughly as possible. The second question we get is, what else can Rhumbix help my team with? And one of the exciting things that we're working on is, outside of the timekeeping space, is we've recently looked into a COVID vaccination form. And what this form will do is validate if and when an employee has received a vaccination, in addition to capturing test results. And so through our application, this is something we're going to be offering at a very low cost to our existing customers. So if you see this as a potential need for your business, it may be a good reason to follow up with us for a tailored product demonstration. The third question is, what is the special offer for webinar attendees? Well, as we approach the end of the year here and we get into the fall and busy season starts to slow down, we're going to be offering some special discounts on our pricing for those of you who are interested in moving forward with our system following this demonstration. So for starters, we'll be offering a 10% discount to those of you who decide to move forward with Rhumbix by the end of November of this year. And additionally, if you decide to move forward with Rhumbix at the end of November, but are not ready to implement maybe until 2022 or at the end of your current subscription with your current provider, we can delay your start date and get a head start on our configuration. Ultimately, allow you to deploy down the road at the date that makes the most sense for your business. So that's the special offer. And with that being said, we're all done here. And so I've seen some questions come through in the chat. I really appreciate that. What we're going to be doing for everyone who attended is we're going to be sending you a follow-up email. We're going to include a recording of this demonstration. And we're going to offer you the opportunity to follow up and request a demonstration or a custom demonstration with a product specialist who can walk you through any specific questions you have about Rhumbix's products, Rhumbix's licensing, Rhumbix's implementation options, and discounts for attendees of this webinar. So that being said, really appreciate everybody taking the time to check us out. I know everyone's busy, but we're really excited that folks were able to join, and hopefully we'll talk to you guys soon.